Now, British police officers will be tasked with cracking down on people smuggling gangs in North Africa amid concerns that 400,000 people will attempt to enter Europe through Italy this summer.
Yeah, the warning comes ahead of a trip to the region by Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick, where he will emphasise the importance of stopping people smuggling.
Well, joining us now is Conservative Councillor Holly Whitbread. Good morning to you, Holly.
Morning.
So this is all about stopping migration, especially from Northern Africa, at its source, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think this is the one key thing to do, is stop the people smugglers. And actually that is the cause of the illegal immigration and the boat crossing. So it's really good to see this proactive action today. And actually it's a mixture between that diplomatic response, also the practical response on the ground as well.
When you look at the numbers, Holly, I mean, they're truly eye-watering. 400,000 expected this year, and that's up from 167,000 last year, more than doubling in 1 year. Tunisia, Algeria, Italy, France are on the whistle-stop tour. Diplomatic building of bridges. The problem we've got, though, is that we've tried this sort of stuff before. For example, the European Union put 61.5 million into Libya to try and stop this in Africa. Is this actually going to work, or is it just the kind of thing that the voters back home want to hear? Is this window dressing to help Conservative voters feel like, yeah, this government's getting tough on this issue?
I think it's part of a wider response, actually, and we're seeing the impact of illegal immigration on the ground with the use of hotels across the country still, although there has been some move away from that, and that's seen huge pressure on infrastructure. So this is part of a wider response. We saw today as well the adverts that the government are using with Albania to try and discourage people from coming over. So I think ultimately the government have to have a mixture of responses, working with authorities abroad as well as more on a diplomatic side too.
So tell us a bit more about that advert, just in case our viewers and listeners haven't seen that. And do you think that kind of approach will work?
Well, I think it's one thing to look at. I mean, they're doing an advert on Facebook to try and discourage Albanian people from coming over illegally, which is one of the biggest groups which have been travelling across. It's one of many things to do. Ultimately, it's not going to solve the problem, but it's worth a try, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for every government advert against it, there'll be about another 50 from the people smugglers themselves offering family package deals. Now, Holly, am I correct in assuming that you have a couple of asylum hotels in your constituency?
Yeah.
How does that land locally? What are people's concerns, and what are they saying to you as a local councillor?
So we have 2 hotels locally, and there are huge concerns about the pressures on infrastructure, particularly around GP surgeries and school places as well in one of the cases. So there are huge concerns, and actually people just want to see a fair system. They want to see applications processed quicker. But on the ground, obviously, it doesn't go down too well. I think we're lucky we live in a respectful community, but it's more the concerns around pressure on infrastructure.